Hi guys, Stephanie Nadolny here, OG voices of Kid Goku and Gohan from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
It's Megan Hollingshead. You know me as the voice of Nurse Joy in Pokemon and Rangiku in Bleach.
I'm Marie Westbrook. I'm the voice of Hanami, Dorio, and Ikumi.
Hey, this is Karen Strassman.
I'm Tara Sands.
It's a Merc new one. You're watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Flea Boy.
What's good, everybody? You already know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one, Flea Boy Jetson. And you're watching Voice of the Heroes podcast. And if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming interviews or discussions with your favorite heroes and villains from around the world. And today we got a very special guest. She has provided her talents to comics like the Powerpuff Girls, Gargoyles, and even DC Comics. She's an entrepreneur, an educator, an illustrator, artist, musician, and the author and creator of Animal Arithmetic, Beast of Burden. Let's welcome Kenya Danino, aka KD Fox, to the show. Welcome.
Welcome. What's
How you
up,
doing?
y'all? What's up, y'all? Oh my God. You know, you never really know how much you do until it's like all listed. What in the world?
Hey. Yeah, man, you've been busy. Wow. And busy is a good thing. And I want to give KD Fox a huge shout out, right, chat? Before we even start, man, I want to show you Animal Arithmetic, Beast of Burden. I got my own copy. I know y'all jealous because I got it signed. You know what I mean? You gotta go get your own copy. And she also was kind enough to send me issues 1 through 6 of Gargoyles, including this variant.
Yes. That's a special variant.
Yes. Oh man. Fun little story, y'all, right? She was kind enough to give me this stuff. But the first package she sent, somebody got lucky out there. Hey, if you watching this, send that package back. What was in that package?
Keep it and read it. I mean, like,
what was in that package? Was it the same stuff?
It was the same stuff. And then something else that I'll have to send to you too. And I found an extra copy yesterday. I did a short story with DC for Katana called Soul Survivor. And that was that in that first package. But I had to find my whole stash to figure out if I had another one, and I do. So
if I ever catch y'all with that comic, bro, I'm popping on y'all, man. If I ever see it on eBay, if I ever see that on eBay, man, it's real. And also, I think I put it up in my attic, but also, man, I love that Animal Arithmetic pendant that you sent. The fox head. Matter of fact, let's start the conversation off and the pod off with the book.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about the book. Tell us a little bit about the main protagonist and the story.
Sure. All right. So Animal Arithmetic is a lot. It's a project I've had since middle school, and it's like the culmination of all of my diary entries growing up as a clairvoyant or somebody who can like see and feel things others around me couldn't at the time. I was always looking into just the deeper meaning behind life and stuff, and I wrote about it, I drew about it ever since I was young. So Animal Arithmetic is a story about this young girl who grows older and realizes that she can see and talk to spirits like her grandmother. And then one day, an event triggers the apocalypse where an angelic clock materializes in the sky, like counting down the seconds, the minutes, the hours and the days to how long humanity has until everything gets reset, because whatever created everything in existence is very thoroughly upset with what's going on in this world at that particular time. And they're so upset that they even cast down all the angels from above to suffer alongside the humans. And they said, like, you know what? If we're going to do a full reset, we're resetting everything. All the hierarchy gone, like full ground zero to this. And they were, and pretty much the main character forms a bond with one of the elite angels called the Kingdom 9 or the K9, named Breyer. And their whole mission with the bonded angels and humans, which is like a task force where the leaders of this task force are in kind of like a university type setting, and the leaders are called professors. Their whole mission is to gather very strong bonded types with people and angels to try and stop the clock. What they realize is that when certain good deeds happen that appeases this clock or whoever created it, the clock turns backwards just a little bit and buys them more time. However, you have the demons on the other side who think that they have a different way of destroying this clock and all the hierarchy of everything to do with it altogether. So you got the war between the humans, the angels, and the demons trying to figure out exactly like how to get rid of this clock. And that's what animal arithmetic is, because a lot of these spirits take the form of animals.
That is fire.
Yeah,
Hey, man. Hey, chat, look, links will be provided for you in the description. You got to get your hands on the copy. It
Yes.
won't be like mine's. It won't be signed. You know what I'm saying? But go check it out, man.
Yes,
Support
I'm planning
this.
to put a pre-order out for a few more copies in the next month. So yes.
Ooh, let's go. Now, Animal Arithmetic is set in 2073 in a world of pandemics, wars, spiritual conflicts, like you said, among arcane spirits and animals. What inspired you to set the story in this particular era and tone?
Okay. So you know how there are certain pieces of media that come out that almost predict the future? Like as
The
if somebody
Simpsons?
saw what could happen if like you're not careful. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell or Serial Experiments Lane, where everybody gets so attached to like technology and whatnot. Now we got this whole AI thing going on. You see what I mean? Like, I feel sometimes like Animal Arithmetic might have been one of those stories because lo and behold, look at the time that we're living in right now. Is it not full of pandemics, like spiritual crisis, bad people in all the wrong places? Like it's just mayhem right now. So
Indeed.
in a sense, Animal Arithmetic became even more relevant, and it's highly unfortunate that it did for that reason. But the good that comes out of it becoming more relevant is that people are now more open to reading and watching media with heavy themes and tones. Once upon a time, maybe in the past, maybe you or my day, that used to be a normal thing. People would just come out with projects that were just deep for no reason. Like people, they would just like come out with the most obscure stuff and it would just be fire and we'd all just catch on to it and read it and watch it and whatnot. These days, I feel like the stories are being too watered down. And for whatever reasons that may be, I don't know, but that seemed to have been a trend up until recent, because now it's not hidden from our sight anymore. There are a lot of injustices going on in the world, and it is front and center. You have to face the music at some point. You know what I mean? So that, I feel like Animal Arithmetic has now found its place since creation in that realm of storytelling. If
I
that makes
love
any
that.
sense.
Nah, it makes perfect sense. And I
Yeah.
love that aspect to it. Let's talk a little about your protagonist,
Mhm.
Kayla D'Angelo. Experiences visions, like you said, of black dogs, butterflies, foxes. How did you develop her character in that inner journey?
So foxes have always been my thing. Like just an animal that I really liked. I used to study animal behavior when I was in high school and a little bit into my undergraduate years. I just like, I don't know, animal behavior was fascinating to me, and they were the subjects of my art almost all the time. I would use animals in my poetry, sometimes in my music, many times in like the murals that I made way before I started doing like comic and manga drafting. And like I believe there was this one time where my Professor Ivy, she called me the storytelling animal. And ever since then, like I've kept that title, even to the point where, that pin that I gave you, the one with the fox head, that's an actual helmet. I wish I could show you right now. I have it upstairs, but everybody knows me from that helmet. It's probably the most iconic thing I have. It's an actual helmet, and I wear that that helmet to like every meeting that I go to and whatnot. And it's representative of the fact that like the fox is me. That's how I move through life. Cautious, but with wisdom. And as for butterflies, butterflies are my grandmother's thing. God rest her soul. She used to tell me a lot of stories about butterflies and spirituality. And to this day, I really believe that she comes back and checks on the family as white butterflies. So I had that be her motive throughout Animal Arithmetic in the story, and really just butterflies in general. When you read about them in like mythology or even spiritual texts, you'll see that they're very much guides, like they're spirit guides. The canines, however, like the dogs in Animal Arithmetic, they're a different type of guide. So like the fox is one of them. There are many different like types of canines in the elite angels of Animal Arithmetic, and all of them have different personalities from what I learned in my animal behavior studies. And those personalities I translated into powers. So like the fox has different clairvoyant powers than the wolf, or the jackal, which is one of the antagonists in Animal Arithmetic. The fox and the jackal actually have similar powers. They're just on the opposite side. One is shadow and one is light.
That is fire. I can't wait to
Yeah.
finish reading this book. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I just got it not too long ago, a couple of days ago. So I was trying to read it before KD came on the show, y'all. But I promise y'all, man, everything you hearing is goated. Now, I do want to ask, one of the designs and details of the book that fans, no, excuse me, what's one of the designs or details within this book that fans might overlook that holds a special meaning to you? Now, the butterfly, you know, translated to your grandmother and all that stuff. Was there any other Easter eggs that you hid within this book?
I wouldn't say that there are Easter eggs per se in this one because it's the prequel. I am still working on Animal Arithmetic. I still need to build some more of the story. Everything is a work in progress, which is why I created the prequel before I created anything else. But I will say there is an element that not many people know about Animal Arithmetic that was a major part of the process and just my artistic process in general. I'm synesthetic. What that means is that I translate sound and music into colors, line patterns, energy, all of that stuff, numbers, what have you. It's a bunch of cross wiring. Nothing that I create is without sound. So Animal Arithmetic is the product of a literal soundtrack. So when I started the project, I had a sound in mind, and then I sought out the homie Substantial. And if you know about Substantial's background, Substantial has a crazy background as an MC. And he worked alongside Nujabes on different projects. If you know what Samurai Champloo is and the music and the history behind that, yeah. He also worked on some like music for Arc Knights and all these other different types of media. But I love his sound first and foremost, just as his own person. Like out of all of the crew that I like listened to under Nujabes, Substantial stood out to me the most. So I asked him if he ever wanted to collaborate on something like this project, and that's how we came out with this album. So Substantial produced that album, and I gave some of the music direction to it, and also we collaborated with theater voice actors, indie voice actors, and Crunchyroll voice actors to incorporate inside of the soundtrack too. So that was a whole process, but like that music is the thing that spurred me to draw the entire comic. It was almost like listening to it, like a listening version of if it was an anime. That's how I think. Like whenever I get music to anything, it's like a soundtrack to a movie. And that's how I draw anything.
That is interesting. And that covers the question of the soundtrack, because if y'all don't know, she has a whole soundtrack on Spotify. Link will be provided for you in the description. Y'all, please click these links. Go
there are
support.
two versions of that soundtrack, because you know, people process music differently. Some people like music with words and some people prefer the music without. So we have volume
Mm.
1, the original, which has all of the voice actors lines incorporated into the sound. And then we have volume 1, the instrumentals, which is the B-side, Jacko's side. So
That
both of
is
those are on Spotify. You can really
fire.
check them out. Yeah.
That is actually lit. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. You really put a lot of thought into this project. So much thought, right? I want to go to the next question, right?
Mhm.
If Animal Arithmetic were ever to get adapted into an anime series or animated series, who would be your lead roles? Who would you
Man,
cast?
in a dream. Honestly, that was the goal, and it's a little bit harder to get things adapted into
Hey,
anime.
that is
I'm
the goal.
I'm
Not
not
was the
listen.
goal. That is the goal.
You're right. You're right. That's what I was about to say. I'm not giving up on it. It could very well happen. All right. So when I did this project, according to the soundtrack and whatnot, that soundtrack does have voice actors incorporated in it, and it is for those characters. So I would keep everybody on that project, like Noelle Weber, who is she's a theater person, and she's freaking phenomenal. Like we need more authentic Black voices just as leads. Like even more so Black women, because where do you see that?
Yeah,
Like we
true
need more of
indeed.
that. So Noelle Weber, she does fantastic as KD. That's the perfect envisioning for her audio wise. Like Daniel Acosta as Jackal. This man kills that role. I don't care what anybody says. He kills that role. Like one of the hit tracks in the soundtrack is A Hunter and His Prey, and it's featuring Daniel's voice, and he just gets this character immediately. So I would keep him on. Then there's Hunter Scott, the legendary, who is a Crunchyroll vet as far as I'm concerned, and a Funimation vet who has worked on numerous voices across the board of anime, like Psychopaths, Fairy Tail, you name it. And he voices the Fox Angel Briere, and then Professor Ivy, voiced by Farah Raznishi. Also really dope people. They're so cool. Like everybody who was on the soundtrack, amazing people.
Hey, you got this thing locked to a T. I love it, man. I definitely love it.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, right? You said this is the prequel. You're working on the next book right now.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
get like maybe a timeline on when it's gonna drop?
I can't give it at the moment because I have a project that I'm currently working on that is going to take the realm of around 4 or 5 years. And once that project is done, I will be able to announce more for Animal Arithmetic because I'm not done with it. Like I said, it's my baby, literally. Like there have been so many offers that I've gotten for Animal Arithmetic, and I have for the most part soft decline them because I want to get it right. Um, and it's one of those like projects that I would like to get right without having too many hands in the honey pot for. If possible, I would like to keep it fully indie, like just completely mine, substantials, everybody else who worked on it, just the whole culmination of just a love of a project. I feel like Animal Arithmetic might thrive better as one of those, but who knows? Like anybody and anything could come around and like change the game for the better. So I'm always open. But when Animal Arithmetic starts to regain its traction in my brain and on the paper, I will definitely let people know.
Let's go, man. Don't
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
in the closet too long, man. We need that. And I'm pretty sure once I read this, oh, I'm gonna be on you.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna be
want
on you.
more, right?
I'm gonna be on you for more, man. But I respect it because you working hard, man. You going crazy. Now, let me ask you, what comic or book in general inspired you to create your own or just start writing anyway?
So many, so many. So, I mean, I want to say that I got into manga before I made headway into comics. So
Mm.
there was a manga that I was working with when I was like trying to figure out what kind of style I would love to like explore for my own comic style, what have you. The first manga that really struck me was a manga called Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage by Shiro Miwa. The artistic direction of this entire series, it's a short series of 10 volumes. It's insane. It's so insane that I kind of resonate with the fact that the artist did this book so crazy that it could only stop at like 10 because people couldn't catch on to all the details that was going on in this book. That can work against you sometimes. I've learned, like, just throughout like working on my own stuff, like, people need to be able to read certain panels clearly, but for some reason Shiro Miwa stood out to me because I just loved the fast pace of that story, particularly Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage, and I like the fast dynamic, like the dynamism, I should say, of this story and how it looks aesthetically. And I said, you know what? I really like that. I should study like dynamism like this dude has and see what kind of style I could come out with that would be not only an expression of myself, but how I like to story tell. Like, daring to be different. So I'd say
Ah,
Shiro Miwa's Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage was very much like that one that got me stirred up with Animal Arithmetic. Wolf's Rain was another one, another anime that really heavily inspired it because hence the canine as angels, like very heavy there. And then Soul Eater is my top number one favorite anime manga of all time.
okay, I
Everyone knows it
respect
and they know
it.
me. Like it is. It like just the things that they talk about in Soul Eater, like just the depths of a soul, what it means to have an actual connection, like using your connection as a weapon. Like community as a weapon is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's a wild concept, but I think a lot of people need to put that in practice in real life, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But yeah, those three. But in terms of comics, X-Men.
Oh, there we go. I ain't going front. That's my joint, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. I still go crazy for the X-Men. Grown ass man, when X-Men 97 dropped and
Listen,
episode
everybody,
6
who
hit,
doesn't go crazy for X-Men? Like, and with all comics, there's great writing, there's good writing, there's terrible writing, and then there's writing. But you sit through the terrible parts for the good parts, and for the
Mhm.
most part, like X-Men was dope. Cannot lie.
Even right now, as we currently speak, I've like all my life I've read comics, right? But I
Mhm.
never stayed up to date with a series, like bought every issue that ever came out. Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko has been the first one
Oh,
that
that's a good issue.
I've been collecting every single one and keeping up with the story. Is
Yeah,
it one
that's
of the
what's up.
best X-Men stories? Pretty much not it, but it actually got me involved to do more reading now. And like we were saying before, like I'm became more of an introvert that all I have to do is read and study and things like that. So
Yeah,
I'm loving some of these things. Speaking of comics, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
worked on covers for iconic franchises. I'm talking about Powerpuff Girls. Like, my God, right there is
What
whoo.
a blessing.
And
What a
then
blessing.
Gargoyles. Like I said before about X-Men, my childhood, I'm a 90s baby. I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid. So Gargoyles,
That's a good
X-Men,
period. Yes.
Spider-Man, Batman, animated series,
Yes.
Power Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
all of
You know
that was
what's up. You know it. You know what it is.
yeah, all of that was my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially Keith David, man. Shout out to that man. I think he's about to,
100%.
yeah, I think he's
Would
about to get
love
us.
to work with that man one day.
Yeah,
We'll see
he
if
is
it can ever happen. But
fire,
yes,
man. He's about to get a star on the Walk of Fame.
I
So
know.
that's
And
phenomenal.
so deserved.
So now I
Incredibly
gotta ask you,
deserved.
right? How did you approach carrying the essence of such nostalgic properties?
Well, it helps being a 90s kid. Like these are the things we used to enjoy as kids. Like I remember when I was
Wait,
like,
you a 90s baby?
yes, I'm a 90s
Hey, it's
kid.
crazy. You look like you youngest, bro.
93,
My
baby.
God, you
Yes.
look like you just over 20.
You know what? Let me keep looking that way. That
Yeah,
was a
hey, matter of
compliment.
fact,
Thank
yo,
you.
edit this out. You know what I mean? They don't need to know she's a 90s baby.
But yeah, no, like I remember literally like before going to school, grabbing my bowl of cereal. There was a mini TV in our little cramped apartment kitchen, and I used to turn on that TV every day and watch all of the random obscure cartoon shows that people are now discovering. You know what I mean? Like back then when Disney Channel had Recess and like the Tarzan spinoff show and the Buzz Lightyear show, and then Gargoyles came on after that. Then you had the Mighty Ducks, and you had the SWAT cats and all like the
Oh
street
man,
sharks.
SWAT cat. You know what's crazy that you said SWAT cats? They're about to get a comic.
Are they like
Yeah.
that? Put that in one of my like dream comics where I would love to illustrate covers or even do the page work for SWAT cats for real. Like, oh my god, SWAT cats was my jam.
Yeah,
Along
they
with
just
Gargoyles, the
announced
Gargoyles
it.
is the number one. Like that. First of all, it's in New York. Hello.
Yeah.
Second of all, like Elisa Maza, the supreme goat. Like this was the first case where you ever saw a black woman as a lead. Like I was like, like yes. So yeah, being
Hey,
a kid
I
helped.
love it.
You draw on that nostalgia of actually like watching these shows, and then it comes out in your work. So when I got the very gracious opportunity to work on these covers for Gargoyles, I just heard through the grapevine that this one comic company I had no recollection of was bringing them back. And I'm like, wait a minute, the Gargoyles? Excuse me? And I just decided to make fan art for it because I just got so excited. It just made my inner kid happy. Lo and behold, the editor comes by and was just like, hey, we think your style might be really cool for the actual legitimate prequel of Gargoyles Dark Ages. I'm like, shut up. Shut up.
And for
Are you
those who
kidding
don't
me?
know, we showed a little joint in the beginning, but I know y'all gonna hate me again, but it's all right. This interview is to, make y'all feel
Guard that with
jealous.
your life.
But these are some of the covers that she has done.
Yeah.
Artwork. And
My
yeah, you see
my
it
favorite
all
part was working on
autographed.
Demona. Demona is also one of my favorite characters. Like, did you see that Demona actually has her own single series right now?
No, but this is my favorite.
Definitely got to check that out.
I
Like,
love this
yeah.
one right here, man. So,
I
so
love working
powerful,
on Dark
man.
Ages because I knew that the castle was called Castle Wyvern, but why? And this one shows it because there is an actual dragon. Like, so you gotta pick up this whole run of Dark Ages. This is the actual pitch, like the first pitch for the show, the first episode, the real first episode.
Mm.
It was gonna start off like this, but it decided to go in a different route for the actual animation. So this is worth the read. It's a gem.
Yeah, it's something that holds near dear to me because
And
anybody who
Drew
knows,
Moss did the illustrations, and they're fantastic. That man does wonders with his pages, honestly.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
why I
have
was telling you
praise.
this means a lot to me. Like this right here is like a check off that bucket list for me, and I can't wait to get it knocked out. Because even I'm not even gonna lie to you, and it's funny, right? Because
Mhm.
2 months ago, maybe even longer, I decided I had Disney Plus, and I'm like, oh, I just finished watching some show that I ordered Disney Plus for. But I said, let me see what else they got. I seen Gargoyles. I said, let me
I
rewatch
got
this.
so excited when Disney Plus put Gargoyles back on. I was like,
Yeah. My God, the dialogue. And going back to Keith David,
yes,
I feel like this is one of his best performances because at the
yes,
time as a kid, I didn't know the dialogue of Gargoyles was so peak and so meaningful. Like a lot of stuff when I was a child went over my head but under my nose.
right.
And
That part.
now you realize how it holds up to this date, man.
Hmm.
And that's why I said this cover right here for me is so powerful because if you've seen the series, if you know. If you know,
If
you
you
know.
know, you know.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm
If
saying?
you
So
know,
to
you
see
know.
that is just a powerful way you capture that, man. I gotta applaud you for that. You deserve your
Thank you.
roses for that, man.
Thank you.
And y'all, man, go support, go support. Now, when you're illustrating variant covers, right?
Hmm.
What makes one pop for a collector? Like, if I'm a collector, what do you do to a variant cover that makes it like, okay, I gotta get this?
All right, industry peeps, don't come at me. Um, but I've always been known to be real, so I'm gonna keep it real. What makes a cover pop, just entirely, in my humble opinion, what makes a cover pop is if you can tell what that cover is out of a slew of covers. Like it has to have a unique feature to it. So and as with any artist, that's the goal. Like you do that. There are many artists in the world. What sets you apart from all of them? Like what's the thing that somebody can pick out and say, for example, like, oh, that's a Kenya Danino cover right there. Like that's a Katie Fox cover 100%. You have to have a very unique style. And not only that, it also has to be able to move units, and that's just real in the professional side of things. So it's two things that you have to have in order for a cover to really pop, but also just for your name as a cover artist to pop off, if that makes any sense.
No, it definitely makes a
And
lot
that's
of
the
sense.
name of the game. Full honesty.
That's why, because when I do the variant shopping, right, and I see
Mhm.
certain variants, you're right. Like I might go because I love Peach Momoko style. Like she twists the manga with the comic type fusion. You get a sense, or something like Alex Ross, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just certain covers, especially foils. I think
Oh yeah.
foils.
Oh yeah. What? If it's shiny, forget
Yeah,
it.
if
That's
it's
why they
shiny, like,
started making
ooh.
like full covers and holographic covers, because I don't know what it is, but just like a tiny segue, something about shiny really catches people's eyes. Like it doesn't even matter what it looks like. If it's shiny, it's gonna catch your eye, and that's the whole goal on a shelf of books. You want it to catch people's eye. I really like shiny things so much to the point where like I actually created a little sub company of mine called Graphox, which makes whatchamacallit, enamel pins, like specific enamel pins for actors and voice actors for the characters that they actually voice. And those little trinkets, they go for a lot, and people go for them because it's a collector's item. So also the rarer the comic is, or the rarer the item is, the more people are going to want their hands on it. So that's another element that also makes something like really valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Definitely, I got to check that out. I think I did see you had like spray cans or something like that for
Yeah,
some of them.
that's my Graphox style, like one of two of my art styles.
Hey, I love it, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
like I said, that link, I seen the Instagram. I'll get the link for that. Hey, check out, please check them out, man. Go support. Now, I do want to ask you this next question, right? Have you ever, and if you don't, if you want to be transparent, if you want to, if you want to sway, that's perfectly fine. But have
Hmm.
you ever had to fight for a creative vision with a client or publisher?
Fight for a creative vision.
Like maybe you had, you wanted to go a certain way and they wanted to play it safe, or maybe go a different direction, and you had to fight for
Yes.
that.
So the cover that you actually like the most, that third one, actually was a product of a little Muffin. So the original design, I guess, leaned more towards my style. Um, first draft, and I guess it got too stylistic to the point where the actual team from Disney stepped in and said that it went too far off from the actual franchise. So I had to make some edits to the cover, and then ended up with this one, which I'm still proud of. I mourn the old design because, as an artist, you do get attached to your art, but you also have to be open-minded to other people's ideas, and especially if it's an IP that's well known, you do have to like take that constructive criticism and, do your edits however you need to. That is a thing. I say that where that doesn't step in too much is when the idea is already an indie idea. Like, let's say if Vault Comics, for example, decided to make like an original horror, like a thriller type comic, you might be able to get away with more artistic liberties there because it's Vault's IP, and the comic publisher because they own that IP, they're more open to experimenting with it, as opposed to if you were to like say partner up with like Disney or DreamWorks or another, or yeah, then they'll be like, I don't know, we kind of want it to look like this, and then that's business stuff. I will say there have been many offers. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Animal Arithmetic had a lot of offers, and I soft declined them because sometimes the offer and what they want to do with the IP or the thing that you have gets in the way of the actual story telling itself to the fullest. And you have to have the discernment to know if that's a good deal for you or if it's really going to take away from the original project that you made. So I'd say that those are like two examples of that.
Okay, I like that take.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could see that too, because dealing with a company like Disney, they seem like they, would be kind of strict with that, and then dealing with somebody,
Yeah,
that's dealing with a
they
little
can be.
indie project or something.
Marvel's like that too. To a
Marvel's
certain
like that
extent,
too.
DC as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I could see where they would differ at. Now, let's talk about your style, because like you said, every artist has a certain style that makes
Yeah.
them unique and makes them stand out. If you could describe your signature style, how would you describe it?
So I have two styles. One is my current comic slash manga style, which I call heavy shadow.
Heavy shadow?
Yeah, I call it heavy shadow because it's very heavy on the shadows. Like it emphasizes like a lot of dark spaces and highlights shapes with the light spaces. Like if you take a look at any of the covers that I sent you, a lot of them have a lot of black, like heavy black spaces in them. That's my signature style. I picked up that element from a lot of styles that I really like. I love inking. Like that's my favorite part of comics ever. Colors, I'm still learning, and we all have space to still learn as artists. But inking, the black and white, that is my playground. I love black and white anything. Black and white and one color is my jam. I learned that from studying a lot of manga, but also you're familiar with Hellboy, right? Mike Mignola.
Yeah, that's my joint.
Yeah, his style is iconic for that same thing too. And I did pick up a few issues of Hellboy in my time and actually absolutely fall in love with the art style of it, that I was just like, I like that. I wonder how I can play with that too and then make it my own. And really finding your own style is just you figuring out who you like and then just mixing it into a whole ball of something new and then adding another spice to it that's completely your own. And then voila, you have a style. So that's one of them. The second style, my graphic style, is from my graffiti roots. If you're from New York, you always carried a black book. If you were any type of artist worth your salt, like, and you would just draw any type of, the little silly symbols that we used to draw in our notebooks all the time, but then you turn them into like block characters and yeah. So those were the days when I used to have my black book and just draw whatever. Some days I still do. I love graffiti. I've always loved graffiti. And then I've also worked in the traditional, like the spray can media as well. So my graphic style is a mixture of my graffiti roots and also Soul Eater's mangaka's art style that's a little bit like color mosaic. So I blended my graffiti style with a mosaic kind of style, and you get something like graffiti painted glass. And that's what the graphic style is.
Okay, I like it. And you know what's funny that you mentioned graffiti and like having a background in that? My
Mhm.
father is heavy in that.
Let's go.
My God, he's been doing graffiti for since I can remember, since probably I've been alive, and he still to this day does it.
Does
He
he have
might
any
he
inspirations or has he like done it off the dome?
a lot of off the dome work, a
Mm,
lot of family work, like anybody, whether it's a baby, whether it's a birthday, whether it's
nice.
whatever, like it could be New Year's, and he might send me literally my name and Happy New Year's on it, and a
Oh,
whole
that's dope.
he yeah, he
Those make
draws.
the best gifts too. Like,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of his art, and he's heavy in that. So I could relate,
Mm-hmm.
man, and that means a lot too. Like certain, stuff that y'all do, I can just imagine the meanings behind some of y'all art and what it means to y'all on a personal level. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, are there any stories of characters that you feel like had a lot more meaning and got underrepresented in any comic book space?
I will say that underrepresented characters in anime, they're starting to come out with some stories that actually address these issues. Thank goodness. There could still be more though. Like I'm glad that we're starting to get more stories with main characters that are diverse. It is
Mhm.
a long time coming, for real. But what I would also like to see on top of that are characters that are not just diverse, but neurodiverse. And when I say that, I am an educator for New York District 75. I work with students who have disabilities, and a lot of our students are on the spectrum as well. I'm also neurodiverse myself, so I would love to see myself and the things that I go through as a neurodiverse person in another character that maybe doesn't have like a side comedic role, but leads a story. In
Mm.
fact, in Animal Arithmetic, Kayla D'Angelo is actually neurodiverse. And I make it a point in later like notes that I have for the next few like chapters to make that known. Because it's always nuanced and it's never just known. The reality is that we have so many people on this world, like in this earth, that have different ways of thinking and they're just born with different ways of thinking, and it would just be nice to actually have more stories from that perspective. That's my honest opinion. I think that right now is underrepresented because there's so much stigma with neurodiversity and disability as a whole. I think we need to start breaking those stigmas one by one, and this is one way to start, especially since all the media that we like as kids is now coming into a bigger light, and everybody is starting to be, like, not all right, so let's start telling the real stories then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the difficult ones that need to be
Mm-hmm.
told. Because I think by doing so, like you said, more people will see themselves represented in these stories, and you never know what might catch flame. Now I
Yep.
know everything ain't for profit, but with these big companies, you know what they're thinking. They're thinking
Right.
about, okay, can this sell? Will this sell? How will this meet?
It's true.
Be received with the general audience? But like I always say, man, no matter what you do, if the story is good, people are gonna fall in love with it. No
That's
matter what
fact.
color the character is, no matter what gender the character is, no matter what type of you put in this story. That's why one little issue, right, I have with what's going on in the community is I'm not mad at all the gender swapping or race swapping with these characters, right? Because it
Mm-hmm.
fits the story, it fits the story. If it fits the story. Now, if you're doing it just to do it, just to put an A-lister in your movie to sell
Oh,
tickets,
you mean pandering, right?
yeah, pandering, stuff like that, then, you know, I like it to be more, okay, we got a Spider-Man, right? I don't care if we got Miles Morales. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? But you see how they made Miles Morales a lot differently than Peter Parker, and they told his own story. They're not all right retelling Peter Parker just as an African American.
Right.
They gave him his own personality, his own issues, his own identity, and I think that's why Miles works so much with the community. And I would like to see a lot more of that.
But the thing that stops it from being an issue of pandering is if we have more people telling the story of diverse characters who also understand diversity, who are also diverse.
Diverse.
That is the point. That's literally the point. Like there are a lot of people in position who could literally make way for so many other people who could tell the story from a perspective that is very genuine, I should say,
Mhm.
and not just piecemeal. Like we need more people who can actually tell the stories of diverse characters being diverse. It's just that's my humble, honest opinion. We're starting to get there slowly but surely. That's what I
No,
love,
we are. And
right?
even in the voice acting field, like you're starting to see
Correct.
more characters represented by their counterparts.
Correct. I'm
You-
starting to see more of it now, and I'm like, listen, and a mini shout out to a new anime that just popped up, which is fantastic. Y'all need to go see it. Gachiakura.
Woo!
Yeah, my girl Kanisha Thompson, who is playing Simiyu. I love that. I love that. You know why? When is the last time you've heard a Southern Black woman sound Southern Black, like authentically on screen, on a big screen? Please, it made my heart happy. Like, you have
Yeah, I'm
no
not gonna lie.
idea.
That anime is so good. Episode 3.
Gachiakura is straight gas. Everyone
Yeah,
should
that
go
shit
see
is
it.
gas. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm gonna keep it on it. Episode 3 literally almost made me piss on myself. I did not know it was gonna be that funny. I'm sitting in bed, right? And it's gotta be like 12,
I'm
1 at night.
saying.
And the
So
day is
many dope
over.
talents on this anime too. You have no clue.
And you,
It's gas.
and shout out to my guy, man, Devon. He put me on to it. He told me, he's like, man, when this comes out, it's gonna be peak. And man, did he tell no lies.
The person
Yeah.
who put me on to that anime was Zeno Robinson, and now he is in it. Like this man is insanely blessed. Like that's God's favorite. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Hey,
He
he
deserves
is
everything.
literally doing his thing. He just dropped a series. What is it? The comic book shop? Something like that.
He's
I
on
know.
other projects too. This man's moving different as well. Shout
Yeah,
out
he's
to
in
Zeno.
everything right about
Love
now.
him.
He's in everything, man. Big shout out to
Mhm.
Zeno Robinson. Now, are there any dream projects you like to work on? And if you did, like, let's just say you had complete creative control, right, of it.
Right.
So if you can have any dream project and complete control, I can't even talk. Creative control, what would it be?
All right. If I had complete creative control over a project,
Mm-hmm. And what would that?
wise,
Huh?
comic wise, I would love to
Anything,
work on
anything. Anything. If you could do anything right now, they called you up, Katie Fox, man. We love your style. We,
Rogue and Gambit spinoff, bro.
you know what's crazy?
I need
seen
it. I need it.
when I seen your art for them too, I instantly fell in love. That's one of the reasons I hit you up, because I thought it was
Rogue
so
and
good. I
Gambit.
thought you was already doing one.
Man,
I thought it was
and
official.
listen,
I'm like,
I
that
I
was my
would love
first
to.
introduction to
I
you.
would love to. Like it, the universe, God, everything that be. Please, I would love to work on a Rogue and Gambit spin-off comic. Please. Like, I love those two. They are my favorite in the whole X-Men franchise. Just their whole dynamic is nuts. I love a good duo that goes through a lot of like really mature emotional growth. I love it.
Oh, so I know
I will eat
episode
that for
6.
breakfast.
I know episode 6 at X-Men 97 hit you different. When she said, I can't feel you.
It's
Oh my
trauma all over again, but yes.
man, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's why I was saying a little earlier, grown ass man, when I seen that scene and she put her hand on his face and said, I can't feel you. Bro, I started watering, lips started quivering.
Exactly.
I said, man, this is so good, man. I can't wait for season 2. I had the privilege of interviewing a couple of them on the program, so make sure y'all check it out. Make
Very
sure y'all
dope.
check out them interviews. And I seen you in the pictures with a bunch of them. Storm, I think Gambit, right?
Yep.
A couple of them, man. How was those interactions?
Oh my God. So they are some of the most down to earth people. Listen, I don't associate with anybody unless I know that they're down to earth people. That's just how I roll personally. I'm like the hermit of the art and even like a subsection of the voice acting community. I go where the grass is green because it's green. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, they are wonderful people, honestly. And I can't wait to meet the others. And I'm sure that they are also wonderful people as well. But like, yeah, that series popped off. I am hoping the best for season 2. I'm really hoping. We've been waiting long enough. I want to see what they're gonna come out with.
Hey man, hey chat, listen, season 2, jump in the Discord, watch parties. Y'all already know I'm gonna start getting the watch parties going again. I know that I've been MIA, but I'm telling y'all I have a lot in my bag right now. I've been working on some more good surprises. But let's get into the recommendation part of the show. Now, right now, I'm doing a PS5 giveaway and a Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway. Well,
Ooh,
not and or. Yeah, I'm doing or. So you either get a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch 2. Big shout out to our last winner, BK Numbers. And I'm also giving away 2 signed autographed 8x10s of David Forsyth and Joshua Seth, which are the voice actors for Ty from Digimon and also Soul Bad Guy from Guilty Gear. And the only thing you got to do to enter the win is like, comment, and subscribe. And KD is going to give us a recommendation and you have to go check it out. Me personally, if I was to give a recommendation, it would be, you already know. But we're going to listen to her recommendation, whatever it is. Go check it out. Leave a comment. And remember, I will announce the winner at the 5K milestone. Please, I will never ask you for shipping money, so don't get scammed in those comment sections. Now, KD, give us your recommendation.
Now, when you say recommendation, could it be any recommendation?
Any, if it's a song that means something to you, if it's a show that means something to you, if it's a comic series that means something to you, if it's your book, if it's it could be anything.
Well, if you haven't already, because both of them are absolute fire, but like I just got 2 recommendations. Just go watch Soul Eater and Gachiakata, and while you're at it, watch Dandadan too. Those are my top 3s. Like
I'm not even gonna
they're
lie.
the best.
Those are some fire top 3s right now.
They're my top 3.
And you know what's crazy? The good thing about this, right? That you said those recommendations. And for those people who know me, and we talk a lot of anime on my streams. And if y'all not watching, man, go follow me on Twitch at Fleetboy Jetson. We stream every Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But they know I'm reliving. It's funny you mentioned Soul Eater. I never seen it. So as we speak right now,
I bet you've seen Fire Force though.
Huh?
I bet you.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going back.
And that's what's been happening. Please watch Soul Eater before you watch Fire Force. Yeah. I swear, that's the blueprint.
And look, I did a man, what's the gentleman's name? I can't believe I'm blanking out. He plays the main protagonist of Fire Force.
Shinra?
But I had the privilege of interviewing him, and I caught up on Fire Force completely. So I start going down that rabbit hole, Easter eggs and all that. They tell you that Soul Eater is basically, Fire Force is the prequel to Soul Eater or vice versa, one of the two. So I was like, let me go back and watch Soul Eater. And as of right now, the community knows I've been catching up on Soul Eater. It's been a hell of a journey. I've been watching Dan to Dan. Shout out to K. The God. He put me on to that. So I've been watching that since it came out. And Gachiakata.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and Gachiakata, man. Those are some of my favorites, along with Sakamoto Days and
Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, and I also been watching To Be Hero X, and there's one more. What's the other one that I'm not missing every Saturday? There's another one. It starts with a C. I can't remember, man. And funny, it deals with like a shadow beast in the shape of a fox. That
Shadow Beast.
Oh man, it starts with
is it the new one that just
and it's really good. Yeah. And it gets
it's about that giant demon thing.
Yeah, and it like destroys
Clevities.
Yeah, Clevities.
Yeah, I need to watch that. I saw the trailer for that, and I'm like, this looks very interesting. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it is really, really good. I've been watching that. I'm actually gonna get to interview Clevities, the voice actor, next week. That won't be out till September though, because right now we're the whole month of August. You're gonna get Women's Appreciation Month. This is for you and so many women that put in the work. This platform is to give you your flowers and let you know how much you mean to us. All the work you've been putting in, man, and putting on for our community. You are amazing, and this is to let you know that. Let people know where they can follow you at on social media before we get into our universal questions.
All right. So you can follow me as KD Fox. That's KAYDEEFOXX on X, which formerly was Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. You can also just type in the initial KD and then Fox, FOXX, and you will pretty much find any of my other socials, including the album on Spotify for Animal Arithmetic.
And also, all links will be provided for you in the comment section below. And yo, if y'all mess with me, man, go check out all those links. Click on them links. Go support. Even if you're just going by to listen or to read, man, I promise you, you don't want to miss out, man. Support, support, support. Now let's get into our universal questions. I ask all of our guests these questions, and it's only your opinions that matter. So now we're going to go top 5 fictional characters of all time. You can go mangas, animes, cartoons, comic books, movies, television shows. Who are your top 5?
Ooh, okay. Well, I said before, I like a good justice serving duo, right? So top 1, because my favorite is Soul Eater, first duo, Soul Eater Evans and Maka Albarn. Everything about them is literally me. Like whenever I watch Soul Eater, I'm like, yo, someone took these characters straight from my brain, every single facet of them, and created these 2 characters. Like, I like this man being a weirdo who absolutely loves like jazz and classy things, but also like dark things, and his family doesn't understand him. And then you got the bookworm who has daddy issues. Oops, it's me. Like, so I love those 2. Those 2 are my tops. Then we have Kogami and Akane from Psycho-Pass. Psycho-Pass is my second favorite anime of all time. Quite frankly, because are we not living in something like this? Like, you see that's one of them. That's one of those clairvoyant animes that just came out. Like, no, here we go again. But like, you get 2 really, really well fleshed out characters who you think are foils, but they're actually the same person working in different ways. It's very interesting to watch and even read. If you read the manga, definitely check out Psycho-Pass if you haven't. And then my last duo would be Goliath and Elisa, for obvious reasons. That was the duo when I was growing up. That was my favorite duo. Like, unbeatable, unstoppable. I love those 2. So yeah. So I gave you 6 because there was 3
All right, fine though. I like that. I like that answer. It's unique, man. Now we usually do our Mount Rushmore voice actors, right? But we're gonna go to your field. Who are your Mount Rushmore of artists? Could be
My
people
Mount Rushmore of
yeah. So you get 4 artists.
Okay.
Who would you put as the goats of the goats?
Atsushi Okubo, for obvious reasons. Soul Eater, Fire Force, what have you. Shiro Miwa for Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage, and also their Final Fantasy work, which they've also done. Mike Mignola for Hellboy. Jamie Hewitt for Gorillas and Tank Girl. And I am blanking on the 5th. Oh my
There's 4. There's 4. I'll give you an honorable mention though. I'll give you
blanking on the 5th. Who is the 5th? I know who the 5th is. Nico Marley. Which a lot of people won't know unless they are into the realm of character design. Nico Marley is a famous character designer for DreamWorks' animated films. He created some of the most iconic DreamWorks characters that you've seen to date. His style is really iconic, and that's why like he's the lead character designer at DreamWorks currently. But yeah, his style, I would say that was the first style I ever studied as an artist. Yeah, but can I do 2 special mentions? I had
Go ahead. I'll let you rock. I'll let you rock.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I had 2 mentors growing up that actually eased me into the industry, which I was very grateful for. Honestly, it's really 3. If you know who Neil Adams is, God rest his soul.
What tell me a little about him.
Neil Adams, some people call him the god of comics, of DC comics, especially for Superman and Batman comics.
Oh, that's probably why, because
Yeah,
unfortunately,
Neil Adams
I wasn't
is
really
there.
into DC Comics. Don't kill me in the chat, yeah. I
That's
know, I know.
okay. That's okay. Because when I met him, I didn't know who in the world he was either. And I think that charisma, when I was 17 years old and coming like, who in the world are you? Because everybody revered this man like a god. And I was just like, yeah, your stuff's dope. Want to see mine? Like literally. And I guess he found it really amusing to the point where he was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you this man's number. I need you to contact this guy. Like, screw all the other stuff you're doing. Can you go and just give this man a call and then tell me where you end up in a few years, right? He gave me the lead character designer for Ice Age number. So
Ooh.
Peter DeSev is another one that I have to shout out because he was the one who like fostered my love of character design and whatnot. And then he put me on to Terrell Whitlich, who was the character designer for most iconic aliens in Star Wars, like Shibalba and Jabba the Hutt were created by this woman. So talk about women in the industry who are big names. Shout out to Terrell Whitlich. But yeah.
Ooh, love it. Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of fire. Now, before we let you go, are there any upcoming conventions or projects that you're able to talk about?
The project I can't mention, but I am working on something really cool with my whole theme of doomsday and all that jazz. And it also has music involved. And it's a 2-part graphic novel that'll be out in roughly 4 or 5 years. So keep an eye out for that. That's all I can say on that matter. I will be attending Anime NYC in the next few weeks. I believe it's the week of the 21st of August. That is my last show of the year because homegirl got to work. I work for the Board of Ed and I also got my own work to do. So it's a lot. So I can rarely go to shows, but that one is my home show. So definitely come and visit us at booth N03 at Anime NYC. And we're also doing commissions at the Copic official booth. So check that out as well.
Hey, let's go, heroes. All links will be provided for you in the description below. Make sure y'all go support. And all month, we are dropping nothing but bangers. It's Women's Appreciation Month here on the channel. So show your love and support to these ladies, man, that's putting on.
We out here.
Yeah, out here. They out here heavy. And they done took over the channel, y'all. They officially took over Voice of the Heroes podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, love yourself. Pass that love on and love others. 100%. And if nobody told you so, just know your boy love you. Till next time, Voice of the Heroes signing out.
Sing it with me.